Tearful reunion for kidnapped victims. 4 charged for kidnapping housewife. Hi, I'm Daniel Bakri with Kappa News. After a grueling 8 months, the 2 Malaysians who were rescued from Abu Sayyaf have finally been reunited with their families. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak said no ransom was paid to get Abdul Rahim Sumas and Tayuddin Anjut back. However, he said both sustained some injuries that need to be treated.
Kita akan bagi bantuan kesihatan. Saya dah minta mereka ditempatkan di ward pertama, first class ward, dan specialist kita telah tentukan.
Abdul Rahim and Tayuddin were among 5 tugboat crewmen abducted in waters of Dent Haven in the Lahad Datu district on July 18th last year. Tayuddin said the kidnapped victims were treated like slaves and given leftover food to eat, yet were constantly asked to work. In other news, the 3 remaining Malaysians held hostage by Abu Sayyaf were rescued by the Filipino military in Jolo late Sunday. Fandi Bakran, Muhammad Jumadil Rahim, and Muhammad Rizwan are currently in the custody of the Philippines military. 4 men, including an Indonesian, have been charged with kidnapping a housewife for ransom and holding her captive for almost a month in an empty house in Batam. Beh Ju Siong, Lee Fa Xian, So Wei Lon, and an Indonesian identified as Agustinus Ratu kidnapped the 44-year-old woman from her house in Kulai on February 21st. The kidnappers allegedly held the woman in a partially completed house in Kota Tinggi until a ransom of 15.8 million ringgit was paid by her husband. Police have arrested a total of 13 suspects, including 7 local men, 4 Vietnamese women, and 2 Indonesians in Johor, while 4 others were nabbed in Batam in relation to the case. Magistrate Azlan Bohari fixed April 26th for the next mention. 3 other suspects involved in the kidnapping are still at large. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has identified the individual who tried to offer the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, 2 million ringgit to purchase a Tan Sri title from the Johor Palace. In a statement, the MACC confirmed that its Chief Commissioner, Datuk Zulkifli Ahmad, and several senior officials has had an audience with the Sultan pertaining to the matter. Quote, during the meeting, MACC had recorded details from the Sultan and identified the individual involved. MACC has assured the Sultan that investigations will be performed and the appropriate legal action be taken, unquote. The MACC also praised the Sultan for his commitment towards combating graft and abuse of power. Sultan Ibrahim had recently revealed that an individual offered him 2 million ringgit to propose to the Chief Secretary to the government names of candidates for Tan Sri titles, which would be bestowed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. However, the Sultan refused to reveal the person's identity, apart from stating he was from Kuala Lumpur. Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, expressed his disappointment with today's political landscape, saying that it has been marred by many negative elements. In his decree when opening the 5th term of the 13th Selangor State Assembly sitting on Monday, he stressed that politics is not about chasing power and called for the true meaning of politics to be understood.
Politik dalam pengertian sebenar adalah untuk usaha mencapai urus takdir yang cemerlang bagi membangunkan negeri. Dalam hal ini, beliau berkenan dengan pencapaian kajian negeri yang stabil dan meletakkan agenda peduli rakyat mengatasi polemik dan politik sempit. Amat malang sekali, politik hari ini dicemari dengan kebencian, kemarahan, fitnah, menimbulkan salah faham antara satu sama lain dan perkauman sempit. Kita berkenan rakyat negeri meneruskan amalan politik luhur yang berteraskan prinsip dan nilai.
The opening of the State Assembly sitting was considered historical as it was graced by Tunku Permaisuri Selangor Tunku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin and Raja Muda Selangor Tunku Amir Shah. This was the first time the two royals attended the assembly since Sultan Sharafuddin married Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin in September last year and Tengku Amir Shah proclaimed as the Raja Muda Selangor in October last year. Sultan Sharafuddin said he was happy with the state's development and progress and urged the state government to continue the momentum. Meanwhile, Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Azmin Ali told reporters that resolving economic issues would be the main focus for the state this year.
Even though our economic figures are very strong, our fundamentals are very strong, but still we need to ensure that the program and the policies will benefit directly to the rakyat. So we will generate more economic activities for the next 1 year. And that was one of the reasons why we decided, which was also touched by Tuanku, we have increased our development expenditure to 52% because that is the only way we can generate economic activities in the state.
Last year, Selangor's cash reserve grew to 3.9 billion ringgit from 3.26 billion ringgit the previous year, making it possible for the Azmin administration to table a 3.4 billion ringgit budget for 2017, the biggest in the state's history. DAP MP Anthony Loke is denying any allegations that claim he once supported the implementation of hudud. The Seremban MP says his past remarks during a ceramah prior to GE13 had been misconstrued. A 2013 video showed Loke saying if you don't steal or rob, then you should not fear hudud, which he asserts is not tantamount to supporting hudud.
Pendirian DAP tidak pernah berubah, iaitu hukum hudud tidak sesuai dilaksanakan di Malaysia dan tidak serari dengan Perlembagaan Persekutuan.
On another note, DAP's Raub MP Datuk Muhammad Arif Sabri Abdul Aziz says Muslim MPs in his party are free to vote according to conscience in relation to past President Datuk Sri Abdul Hadi Awang's bill, also known as RUU 355. However, Arif Sabri says he will be voting against the bill.
Kita tidak paksa kena ikut parti, tetapi kita mempunyai penghujahan sendiri dan kita akan mentangkan jika diberi peluang nanti, mengapa kita tidak bersetuju.
The DAP is the largest opposition party in the Dewan Rakyat and has repeatedly said it is opposed to the bill, which it deems unconstitutional because it sharpens separate punishments for Muslims and non-Muslims. 8 people are feared dead and 2 in critical condition after an avalanche hit a group of high school students and teachers in central Japan. The avalanche occurred on Monday morning near a ski slope north of Tokyo, where 52 high school students and 11 teachers were climbing, a local government official said. Officials said the 8 showed no vital signs, but they are waiting for a doctor to make a formal announcement. Mosul families are escaping thirst and hunger as Iraqi forces battle with Islamic State to recapture the densely populated parts of the western half of Mosul, the militant group's last stronghold in Iraq. Women, children, and men huddled around Hashid Sha'abi, or the popular mobilization force, to receive rice and chicken after days of no food. The US-backed offensive to drive militants out of Mosul has recaptured most of the city. However, the Iraqi Observatory for Human Rights said since the campaign began on February 19th, unconfirmed reports state nearly 700 civilians have been killed by government and coalition airstrikes or Islamic State action. A runaway cow gave an officer in Texas a run for his money on Friday. Officer Gabriel Estrella tried corralling the cow in a park, but just as the officer closed the gates, the cow charged toward him. Authorities say no one was hurt in the incident and the cow managed to get away. That's all from the Kappa News team. Thanks for watching.